What these local fishermen routinely throw back from their pound nets is a bounty for Duke marine biologist Catherine McClellan. Today, she will be attaching one of 45 satellite transmitters to the back of this juvenile loggerhead sea turtle.
Out of the 21 turtles I tagged last fall, 19 of them transmitted throughout the fishery, and the turtles had exited the sound. So that was really good information as far as the fishery component. And I had at least 13 turtles begin their migrations. I'm continuing to get data from at least 7 turtles, some of which are very, very far away from here.
This turtle is over 1,800 miles away in the North Atlantic Ocean and still transmitting. But before a tagged turtle starts to uplink to the Argos satellite, a construction process is carried out on deck.
I can spend a lot of time preparing the shell and attaching the transmitter, which can take from an hour to 3 hours depending on the weather and the condition that the turtle's in. If there's a lot of barnacles, it takes a lot longer.
Of the 2 animals brought on board this morning, one is deemed too sick to be tagged.
We caught a turtle yesterday that seemed to have a fungal infection, and those turtles are brought back, given to scientists at the Wildlife Resources Commission, and they bring those to Topsail, where there's a sea turtle hospital.
The large number of tagged turtles means this study is an ambitious and expensive undertaking. Each transmitter costs approximately $2,000.
Typically, people are lucky to have sample sizes under 10 animals. You know, you'll see a lot of papers written on 2 animals or 5 animals. So the fact that we were able to get 45 satellite transmitters is very lucky, and will hopefully give us a lot of information. Most of those tags will go on loggerhead sea turtles, but we will put some tags on Kemp's-Ridley sea turtles and green sea turtles.
Important information for an animal that spends most of its time in the ocean away from scientists' observation. Matthew Godfrey is North Carolina's sea turtle coordinator.
Most of the information we know about sea turtles comes from the time that the turtles come on the beach to lay their eggs. And I always think of it in terms of, imagine if all of human medicine, what we know about human medicine, was based on just studying pregnant women. It wouldn't be that great. So it's kind of like that. We just see them when they come to lay eggs, or occasionally when they're caught in nets. We don't really see them at other times in the ocean. So it's a big black box that needs a lot of work still.
Marine fisheries experts hope to better protect these animals with the information gained about their movements in the Pamlico Sound. According to state fisheries numbers, in the year 2000, over 400 dead turtles were found in North Carolina. In April 2003, 50 dead turtles were located on Hatteras Island. Scientists could not determine the cause of death.
The sea turtles interact with several different fisheries, one being the gillnet fishery, which occurs during the fall. They're targeting flounder, and frequently turtles that are migrating out of the sound get caught in their nets. So we're hoping to collect turtles, put transmitters on them, and look at their movements to try and better understand how they use the habitat, and look at that in relation to where fishermen are fishing.
After final checks, the transmitter is epoxied into position. Next, a second fiberglass cover is applied. It's held in place by an epoxy resin that must be kept cool so it doesn't injure the turtle's shell as it cures. Work proceeds carefully to ensure the transmitter stays in place.
Using satellite telemetry is kind of a gamble, because once you put the satellite tag on the animal and put it in the water, there's no guarantees. And then a lot of factors have to happen all in sequence for you to get data. So the turtle has to come to the surface when it breathes, which will bring the antenna out of the water, and 2 saltwater switches, which will turn the tag on. While this turtle's at the surface, it will transmit every 40 seconds, sending a signal up into the air. At that point, if a satellite is passing, it will receive the signal.
Satellite telemetry is really interesting because it's the intersection of technology and research and volunteers and fishermen and education. So you get all this kinds of information that all these different people want to see. It's a really good education tool, especially for school kids, where they can go every day to the website and download real-time updates of where the turtles are, and they get really interested, and it sort of opens up a larger door towards conservation and protecting the marine habitat.
This fall, the remaining transmitters will be placed and then data collected for another year. But early data has revealed some surprises.
So far, we've seen that the turtles have used all the major corridors to exit the Pamlico Sound, which is interesting, and that not all turtles went south. We had a good number of turtles that stayed offshore all winter long, and a group of about 7 turtles that went off into the North Atlantic.
With the transmitter attached, turtle number 37216 is released back into the Pamlico Sound. Its movements will be transmitted to students, scientists, fishermen, and anyone else interested in the behavior of these ancient and now threatened species.